What happens when you walk into a Church of Scientology? How are you received? Where are you taken? What are you shown? Stay tuned because we'll cover all that in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex. I'm an apostate. I used to be the director of public book sales at the Church of Scientology in London, and now I talk about my experiences and give others a platform to do the same. And in this video, I'm going to be talking through the public areas of the Church of Scientology in London and what exactly happens when you're to walk in. So if we take a little look here, this is the main entrance to the Church of Scientology in London. This is located on 146 Queen Victoria Street. Which is near St Paul's Cathedral, right in the heart of the City of London, and this is the main entrance. So on the right here, this is where you would come in as a member of the public. This is the reception desk, and what we're going to be doing is taking particular close attention to the Public Information Centre, which is up here, up the stairs on the left-hand side here, just off camera. So if you were to walk into a Church of Scientology, they would direct you up to this area here, and this is the first thing you would see. Now, the Public Information Centre is one of David Miscavige, the chairman of the board's ideas on how to more efficiently and effectively get people interested in Scientology. And any new public walking into the org, we would instantly direct them to this area. It's a room filled with lots of display panels and videos and TV screens with lots of information about Scientology. And as a staff member in Div 6, we were told that this is the best way to give people the freedom to be able to wander around and find out as much or as little as they want to know about Scientology. This is what the display panels looked like. So this is actually the first panel we would take people to who are walking in at the London org. The blue panel here you see is the Scientology panel, which tells you everything about what Scientology is. The one on the left is Dianetics, and then you have the volunteer ministers on the right, and there are hundreds of different display panels and so on that go over all sorts of different topics. Now, on Blown for Good recently, the three amigos, Aaron Smith-Levin, Mark and Mike, all got together along with Claire Headley to talk about the Public Information Centre and how Div 6 has changed in light of this new AV technology. So I thought I'd play that and give you my thoughts on it afterwards.
Well, it's even worse than that. You can't get people into Div 6 now because he put in, this is the Ideal Org program. It's the videos. You are not allowed to actually disseminate to someone when they come into Scientology. You just have to find out what it is they're interested in, line them up in front of a video and push the button. That's what Div 6 staff are not allowed to talk about Scientology. They're only allowed to push the button on the videos because Miscavige was convinced that the reason that people weren't coming into Scientology was because the staff in the distribution division of all orgs were incompetent and incapable of explaining what Scientology really is. So he had all those videos made to explain it all to everybody, and they're all told, you must walk the person over there and stand them in front of it and push the button.
It really is incredible.
When I was on staff at London Org, I was in Div 6A, and one of my duties was to take people on tours around this Public Information Centre. Although it wasn't my post as Director of Public Book Sales, we didn't have anyone posted permanently in the Public Information Centre. So if anyone was to walk in off the street or someone would like a tour of the Public Information Centre, I would be one of the first people they would call if I was in the building at the time, and I would run down, and it would be my job to show them around and introduce them to what Scientology is. Now, the thinking behind this was, in the UK, we're very aware as Scientologists that there is this kind of reputation that Scientology has of being this kind of controlling, coercive group. And as a Scientologist, I was aware of this and wanted to try and combat that in everything that I did when introducing Scientology to new people. So one of the benefits of using the Public Information Centre was because it allows people to walk around and look at the screens that they want to see and spend as long or as little amount of time as they like in the Information Centre, so that their first instance of coming across Scientology wasn't overbearing and controlling, and they had the freedom to walk in and walk out and do whatever they want. So part of the reason we used the information center was because we were aware of this reputation and we wanted to not scare people off. So we would always direct people in, give them a little talk and say, well, look, here's a good starting place. Watch this video here. We take them to the Scientology booth and say it's just a 3-4 minute video that kind of gives you an introduction into what Scientology is. All of these videos are available on the Scientology YouTube page, and it is a fairly good introduction in terms of what the word means and a very brief rundown of where Scientology came from and so on. And what I would do would be standing a few feet back, not overbearing, but just kind of present. I'd be getting on with something, you know, on my, not necessarily on a laptop, but on my phone, or, you know, writing something out or whatever, so that I'm present but not overbearing. As soon as that video would finish, I would walk up to that person or the people who are sat there, and I would say, what did you think? We'd then get into a bit of a dialogue, and this is where the book selling technique comes in that I covered in a previous video. I would be interested to try and find out what this person's ruin is, what it is that made them walk into the church. Why did they want to find out more? And I would use the information center as a tool to kind of help do this. If someone was giving me lots and lots of questions and I didn't want to come across as too overbearing and too, you know, sell, I would kind of back off a little bit and say, well, look, I'll let you guys walk around and watch whatever videos you want to watch, and I'll be on hand if you need me. Quite often I would do that, and I would just let them walk around, which is, as Mike Rinder said, that's kind of what David Miscavige wants you to do. I think one thing to clarify is that these videos were used as a tool to inform people about Scientology, but they're not a sales tool themselves, or at least they weren't used in that way in the Scientology Church in London. What we would do is give them the videos to answer their questions, and then we would take them away from the video screens, and that's when we would start doing the book selling cycle or getting them to do a personality test or whatever. But the Public Information Centre is very much used as this is your space to wander around. Would you like a cup of tea and some biscuits? You can spend 10 minutes here or an hour, it's up to you. And we would just be on hand and using the amount of time they spend in the information centre as an indicator as to how interested they are. Most people would come in, watch a couple of videos, they'd be in and out in 20 minutes or so. But some people, if they spend a long amount of time there, we had occasionally people that would spend an hour and watch every single video. If I saw that happening, I would know that that person was super interested, and that's when I would approach them and try and get into a dialogue, because no one's going to watch the videos and buy a book or register onto a course straight away, because they're not going to know about all of that. So that's where the reg would come in, like myself as Director of Public Book Sales, or Charlie Wackley, or whoever else was on hand at the time, to step in and go, cool, we noticed you watched this video in this booth. Well, that indicates to me you're interested in Youth for Human Rights, or the truth about drugs, or the volunteer minister work that we do. It kind of allows the person to choose what they want to watch, which gives us an indicator as to what they're interested in and what they want to know more about. If they instinctively go towards a certain panel, I know that that's something I can talk to them about, and that's how I can sell them the book. And that's what we did. If they spent a long amount of time there watching all the videos, they clearly had a lot of interest. So we would use that as an indicator. So we would sell them a book or register them onto a course after doing a personality test. And quite often we would then route them straight onto the course room, and they would start a course immediately. Or if not, they would go away and come back a week or so later and start their course. But ultimately, the Public Information Centre is where you would end up as a newcomer, first-time person walking into the church to find out more. And they would just let you walk around, and they would be on hand, but they would kind of very much let you do what you want to do, because they don't want to come across as too overpowering. So that's an introduction as to what would happen when you walk into the Public Information Centre in the Church of Scientology. I hope this was interesting. Please do leave your comments and press like and share and all that sort of stuff. If you want to support the channel through financial means, please go and buy me a coffee using the link in the description below, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one.